Where are the others?
Yeah. There weren't any others.
Here's the thing.
Stone Temple Pilots. There's
Stone
another
Temple
one.
Pilots.
Pearl Jam. If you said Pearl Jam, that'd be my jam.
If I had to pick, I was a bigger Pearl Jam fan than I was a Nirvana fan. I owned Nevermind, but holy jeez.
I had all the Nirvanas. I liked the Nirvanas, and even some of the Pearl Jam. I didn't really get into Pearl Jam until Vitalogy, and then I was like, "Oh, this is good. This is good."
Well, in the words of the inspirational words of Eddie Vedder, yeah. The thing is, I remember I bought Nirvana because of Smells Like Teen Spirit, and I didn't understand a damn word he was saying, but it was new.
Yeah. Oh, grunge was hot. You were coming out of the 80s and the early 90s when it was, you're kind of getting into that quasi pop rock, where saxophone was everywhere, right?
Yeah. Yeah. I think the 80s were more polished.
Yeah.
And very synthesized.
Oh God, they were heavy. You get
keyboard everywhere
and stuff. Oh, Guitar Heroes, right? So
I never played the guitar, although if I was in a band, I mean, I played bass, but the guitar would have been this. The guitar is just slightly less popular than the bass player.
I would say it's drastically less popular than the bass player. Okay. But even guitar players really didn't get the jam that they deserve. It was always the lead who got the jam, relatively speaking. Right?
Oh, for sure.
But I think nowadays, a lot of the guitar players from back then are really getting popular. Same thing with the drummers, right? Like a lot of those old classic drummers are coming back out, and people are like, yeah, we miss this stuff.
Okay. Who do you think, who would you say was the best drummer of the 90s?
The best drummer of the 90s? Oh, God. Grohl was a good one.
I was going to say Grohl. I don't think there was any comparison. Grohl was it. He didn't shine until later. Like he was
not at all. Like in Nirvana, like it was okay.
Oh, there you go. Doug's
who was the other guy? No, not him. Not Chad Smith. Who was the guy from the Red Hot Chili Peppers?
Chad Smith.
No, not him. The guy from the Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Chad Smith.
No, not him. Jesus. You know who
Flea?
I mean. No, from the Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Chad Smith is the drummer from the Red Hot Chili Peppers.
No, that's not who I mean. Will Ferrell.
Okay. Okay, yeah. Will Ferrell was...
I mean, Will Ferrell. Like, he was a great drummer.
Will Ferrell was one of the best things to happen to Red Hot Chili Peppers, for sure.
I would agree, which is unreal. So...
I love it when you're wrong, although you made me thinking you were right for a second.
Come on, it's a trap. It's going to be a trap, right? So, like, who are the best guitar players in? Like, that's hard.
Of the 90s.
90s were hard. Like
the 90s. I mean, I would go Kirk Hammett just because Metallica went into Metallica became more pop friendly, like not popular, but way more popular after the Black Album.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh yeah. They became almost like pop, really. They just really kind of blew up, right?
Well, it became Metallica was when I remember when Metallica came out, Kill 'Em All came out. I have that on vinyl, by the way. And nice. It was the heaviest thing that I had ever heard. Right. I'd never heard anything like it. I was like, what is this? And I got glare. I've never heard anything like it. And it was, you almost want to listen to it with like when your parents weren't home.
Right.
Because we were living in an age of Bon Jovi and shit like that. Well, Motley Crue.
Yeah.
But when the Black Album came out and Enter Sandman hit and everybody knew, Enter Sandman became very popular, but Justice for All gave us One, which was their first music video. Right. So I think the 90s introduced us to a lot.
It's true. Thank goodness for MTV.
Jerry Cantrell. Who the hell was Jerry Cantrell? Evan, tell me what band. Dimebag was from Slayer, wasn't he? Yeah. Geddy Lee. Ugh. You know why I don't like Rush?
Okay. There's always somebody who's got an anti-Rush story.
I'm not anti-Rush. Here's the thing. The first time I ever heard Geddy Lee, okay, the first time I even knew who this guy was on the Bob and Doug McKenzie album,
Okay. Yeah.
singing "Take Off to the Great White North," and his voice just seemed like it's the voice. There's no doubt Rush is an amazingly talented band.
Yes.
But that voice makes me want to put a ice pick in my ear.
Okay.
It's not
Alice in
everybody's
Chains. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Alice in Chains.
So, like, when it came to guitar, like,
Not
I
terrible.
liked Satriani personally.
Satriani was, we had your Satriani and your Steve Vai. Like
Yeah.
we had those two that
Yeah.
were
Yeah.
releasing straight up guitar albums, and we were buying them.
Yeah. But gee, they're crazy. They're absolutely crazy in what they
Mhm.
can do. They can make those instruments really sing, right?
Well, and we in the 90s, like I remember every band had whatever their album was with a ballad
Of course.
in there.
Yes.
So Extreme, Nuno Betancourt. I
Oh,
remember Nuno Betancourt was a guitar player for Extreme. And
Okay.
I remember there was a song on the album on Pornography that was Flight of the Wounded Bumblebee. And it's just him.
Okay.
And it's just
Oh,
fast.
okay. Yeah.
Although, if I had to say who would be the most impressive guitar player to see play, like if I could have seen this guy play, it would have been Eddie Van Halen. It's like he's
Yeah, that's
got,
fair.
it's
Van
like he has
Halen was
97
ridiculous.
fingers.
Yeah. Yeah. Insane.
We could have a lot of good debates tonight because I think that lots of people have their favorites because lots of us grew up in this.
Well, yeah, I think people really resonated with certain things because they were childhood moments. You know, they were like what do they call it from that movie? Core memories, right?
Yeah. Like, where were you when you first heard Mbop?
Oh,
It's in your head now.
you know, when did Mbop come out?
Mbop would have been probably 97.
Let's find out here.
Old enough that I
I'm curious.
shouldn't have been.
Yeah, it came out in 97.
But I'll tell you what, here's something that everybody gets to learn about Quentin. At one point in time, I had a 10-disc changer stolen out of my car.
Yeah, we had Mbop in there, didn't you?
I did.
And they left it. They left the disc.
they took the changer out of the back, and that was all I took.
You know what? I remember seeing an interview with those kids, right? And they were talking about, you know, like, how did you know that you were the one who wanted to play guitar, or you were the one who going to play drums, right? And they said that, you know, like he got to play drums, or he got to play guitar because he was the only one who could reach the notes, and he got to play the drums because he was smaller and he couldn't play the guitar. He was too small, right?
Makes sense.
So
makes sense.
Same thing with bass. You know, those kids were pretty small.
They were pretty talented.
They were pretty young back then.
But there was another band I remember that came out, and they're from Australia, and I have their one big song on my playlist still. And this kid, they were 15 when they recorded it. Do you remember Silverchair?
Oh yeah, man. I haven't heard about them forever, right?
But they were 15 when they recorded Frog Stomp, I think was their album.
Yeah, I'm just Googling them. It was a Australian rock band formed in 1992. Okay. God, I haven't heard that name forever.
But I think as we're talking about young bands and all this stuff, there's one thing that is, I would say, gone. There aren't kids playing, like, jamming in the garages anymore.
No. You know what I think killed that?
No.
Guitar Hero.
Oh, because everybody was an expert on a plastic guitar?
Because, you know, and that was the irony of, you know, you would get a lot of kids playing Guitar Hero because it was gamified essentially, right?
Yeah.
And it was like, well, you know, the amount of time that you could if you just start playing the instrument for that same amount of time, 20 minutes a day, after a year, you'd be pretty damn good.
Yeah, if you spend as much time playing the guitar as you did playing the plastic version of a guitar,
exactly.
You'd be a whole lot better at it.
Yeah, which is incredible. Like that took that away from us. Now, I will say Rock Band came out and you had to play drums.
I had that. I had
me
both
too.
of them.
We played that game once in a while because it was just fun, right?
I remember buying the Metallica game, and it came with a second drum pedal because you needed it to play it.
Absolutely. There was actually extensions so you can get more cymbals and drums that you could just keep adding to it too.
Oh my god! Then you'd have like Neil Peart's set from
and
Rush.
then it's like, why don't you just go
buy a set of drums?
Get a set of drums at this point in time, right?
Yeah,
like it's kind of goofy. So
but we
But I
had
mean, hey, you know what? I get it. It's sometimes playing an instrument is intimidating. Okay, like, and that's why I think it's good for people to learn these things when they're very young, because by the time they get old, they don't remember the suck. Like
you
seriously,
got to remember the suck.
like you got to eat some shit to start to get good at something, right?
You know what? That's the only way you get good is if you're shitty first. Because
Yep.
if you're good at it, if you're good at it when you pick it up, like when you were 3 and you started
Yep.
playing the piano, you probably nailed it.
Oh yeah, of course. This isn't genetics, right?
Yeah,
Just
it's genetics.
absolutely there, right? But it's like I remember playing sax in high school, like, and I used to get cold sores, right?
Okay.
Which are terrible. So you got to read in your mouth, you putting pressure in there, and it's inevitable you would start splitting your lip or you'd be cutting yourself, and like you'd be bleeding all over your mouthpiece and everything. It's just gross.
Well, I think we had hobbies. We weren't kids weren't sitting around looking at a
Yeah,
death rectangle
yeah.
and watching the world burn.
Well, one of the best things I heard, the description of kids today is back in the day,
Yeah.
kids' default emotion was boredom. Okay, and
Yep.
now it's anxiety.
Is it
Like, think,
anxiety because they didn't just go out and do some shit?
well, let's think about it this way. Did you play Nintendo or Atari or anything like any of those old
Um,
video games?
I went to
Or the
arcades.
arcades, right? You went to
Yeah.
arcades and you go there and you'd play until your quarters ran out, or you got bored of it and didn't want to do it anymore because, let's get serious. Super Mario Brothers or Space Invaders, kind of fun, pretty cool at first, but
Yeah.
then it gets a little boring,
It
right?
does, but here's the thing, you played what you had, and if all you had was Tetris, you played the shit out of Tetris.
But
You
you know what? I still remember having an old like regular Nintendo and
Yeah.
playing it and getting to the point where it's like this is just boring and I've got to go do something else, right?
Right, because and that was also because when we were kids and in the 90's,
Yeah.
you couldn't just download another game because you were bored.
Hmm.
You were done. You
Yep.
finished the game and you could play it again if you wanted to,
Yep.
but that
Yep.
was it.
But that was it. Nowadays, like, have you seen some of those games like Call of Duty where they've actually implemented a lot of like a gambling psychology into it? So
Really?
if you kill a person or X number of people, you get an achievement or you get an unlock, you get a gun, a better level, you can modify your weapon. So these kids are getting this constant hardcore dopamine hit right into their head, right? And boom, 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 is very addicting.
Well, that's not doing anybody any good. Like I think that the games used to be just a fun pastime. You just kind of play it.
Yeah.
And now it's a way of life.
Well, it's a way for a lot of these companies to make money because not only is it gamified, but then they have people on there with their parents' credit cards and they're purchasing and purchasing and purchasing,
Yep.
right? They're buying up. So it used to be, games sold for, 49.99 or 59.99 and you'd
Yep.
get a one-off sale.
Yeah.
But nowadays it's like, we'll give it to you free, but you're going to spend probably 20, 30, 40, $50 every month.
On nothing that makes the game any better. Like
On nothing tangible.
if you're buying skins, you're buying
Right?
pretend clothing
Right?
for a
It's
character.
insane. But people get really hooked onto it.
Well, there are things that piss me off about today. Is that and I'm rebuilding my music library with physical vinyl, right? I it bugs me to no end that I have to subscribe to listen to the music that I once owned
Yep. Yep.
and
Well,
listen to music that
you
I own.
can buy it still though, but it's still going to be a digital format, right?
Right. So do you have it? Do you own it?
Like they say, you will own nothing and be happy, right?
Right. But if I buy the record, I own that record.
You own the record.
Right.
Correct. And there's something to be said about ownership as opposed to, I mean, you can look at it this way, if I don't actually own it, is it really stealing?
Well, that's true.
Like,
That's true.
and that's why everything nowadays has a terms of agreement and operating system type reading. You got to read through it and make sure you agree to all these things. Like for example, at the clinic, I got a call from, this was years ago. I can't remember who the licensing body was. And they're like, you don't have a license for commercial play of your music.
Oh, yep.
Right. And they want to charge by the square footage of your building.
Really? Yeah,
Yes.
that is a thing. I remember that when I
Yeah.
had my shop. Yeah.
So And I wanted to, I can't remember who they were. I can't remember the name of them. Somebody in the audience is a musician. You would know who those sons of bitches are because they say they're collecting money for the artist, but they're really collecting it for Taylor
CRTC.
Swift, right?
It's the
CRTC.
CRTC.
No. There's an organization that collects it. It's not the CRTC though. I can't remember what it was. Anyway,
Yeah.
I remember going, I don't think I should just tell them that, no, I don't think I should have to pay because I'm just actually using stolen music. So there's no rights permitted, right?
Right. It says, I don't want to buy Smash Mouth's greatest just to listen to All Star once a year.
Yeah.
Well,
right.
Smash Mouth, they're coming to Minnedosa.
Are you serious?
Yeah. Yeah. But I think the lead singer is a new lead singer.
Why don't you just go buy Shrek?
Yeah, well, exactly. No,
there you go.
We had stuff that, and but you had your genre that we were better music fans back then. I'll say that because you committed to whoever you're listening to. You bought their album and you had it. You didn't just, it wasn't a playlist and you tried a song. You were a fan.
Yep.
So you bought the album.
Who was your band then?
Depends where you are in the 90s. Like, I think, actually, I got 16 Stone on vinyl.
Yep. Okay.
Bush.
Yeah.
Great album. Solid album. And one of those bands that we forgot that we really loved.
Okay, so here's a weird thing. Okay. You look at the 90s. You take whatever band.
Sure.
Okay? And how many albums did they put out and how long were they on top of the freaking world?
Well, I think that part of the reason was because you bought that album and you were listening to that artist for so long because you had that album. So it stayed in the charts longer. It wasn't just clicking another song came on because thanks to the internet. Like Alanis Morissette would be a great example.
Yeah.
Of Jagged Little Pill was everywhere.
Yeah.
Everywhere for a long time.
Yeah.
Why? Was she great? Yeah, she was great. But you knew who she was because she was on Much Music. You were watching the videos.
She was famous.
You bought the CD and you kept on listening to this shit, which was good.
Of course, it was a girl. The girls loved the fact that it was a girl. But for example, let's look at Nirvana.
Sure.
I Googled this. Nirvana was active for about 7 years.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. How long are current people like Lady Gaga?
Sure.
How long has she been going?
She's been going for quite a while.
Taylor Swift, even.
She was big because she was doing country back in the day.
Right. So like Nirvana lasted 7 years. Okay. Comparison, how long did the Beatles last? 10 years.
The Beatles were only 10.
Only 10. So Lady Gaga.
She's probably got 15 years on them.
Over 15 years. Over 15 years.
Yeah.
So a lot of these really big bands that completely shaped our culture, even in like the 90s and stuff, they didn't last very long. Smash Mouth. How long does Smash Mouth last?
I'd say they had a 5-year run until Shrek came out.
Holy shit, 30 years.
What?
Yeah, formed in 1994, still remains active.
It hurts the heart that our music is considered classic rock.
Right?
90s music is considered classic.
Yeah. Okay, so here's one. Remember Blur?
Mm-hmm.
Song 2?
That was their only song.
No, they had a big career, actually.
I only knew that song, and it came from the Frosh album that I had.
When did they start?
I don't know. I would say, hang on a second.
1988.
What? Yeah, but I don't think they had a hit until the 90s.
And they're still present. They're still going.
Well, I think here's the thing. We also got introduced to bands in different ways.
Yes.
Did Smash Mouth do a song at the Grey Cup this year? I don't know. I don't watch soccer.
I don't know.
I don't know. They might have. But
so Blur got big because it was British pop.
They were British?
They're British. Yeah. Yeah. Nobody knew that. And that was when Oasis was big.
There was another band. God. They sang. Oh, God. The song is from American Pie. This bed is on fire with passionate love. You know that song?
No,
the neighbors complain about the noises above.
American Pie. American Pie.
What the hell was that song? That song is stuck in my head and I can't name it.
Hold on. I've got you here.
The American Pie soundtrack. It was the song from American Pie.
That doesn't help. Like Blink 182 was on it. Tonic, Third Eye Blind, Sugar Ray, Super Transatlantic, Dishwalla, Big Runga, Dan Wilson, Shades Apart, Bachelor Number One, Goldfinger, Big Runga, The Loose Nuts. I don't know. When was the song playing?
I don't know. But again, American Pie, like the
Yeah.
movies we had.
Yeah. Would you let your kids watch American Pie?
I actually mentioned that the other day, and Kelsey's like, no, not American. I'm trying to find. Someone has to know it.
What song played American Pie? What I like
You'll know as soon as I say it. Laid by James.
Oh,
the song was called Laid. Oh, another bangers were Flagpole Sitta by Harvey Danger.
Okay.
Yeah, New Girl by Third Eye Blind.
Matt Nathanson. That was from. It was especially an American Wedding.
Laid was an American Wedding?
Laid, yeah.
Okay, well, that song to me is so 90s. And it was that alt kind of poppy stuff.
So American Wedding, when did that come out?
Well, American Wedding would have been 5 years after American Pie. And I think American Pie came out in the mid-90s, 1995.
So American Wedding was 2003. American Pie was 1999. Man, like a lot of good things happened in 99.
And 99, when did they fire up that collider? Was it right around 1999?
The Hadron Collider. Collider.
When everything went south?
Fired up. When did it get fired up here? That's a good question, actually.
A lot of people think that our timeline ended at that
2022. The Swiss one was 2008. So when did our reality split? The Hadron. It actually is a comet. So
really?
Yeah, 2012 they say, or 2020.
Sounds about right. And here's the thing. I think that we were just something changed after, I would say 9/11 was when things changed. Something changed. We became a lot more somber, and we stayed in a little bit more.
Well, I mean, back then everything felt a lot safer, right?
I remember seeing the second plane go in live.
Yeah,
live.
so did I. I remember waking up and checking my news group, and it was like a plane just crashed into the World Trade Center. I'm like,
that's weird.
Another Cessna, or like what's going on? So I went and turned on the TV, and it was just after a couple. I was like, so it was on flames. I was like, holy jeez! And then the second one comes in, I'm like, oh, we're going to war. Oh no.
Well, and I think that we the 90s kids, I'm going to say, because we were adults in the 90s. We were young adults, okay?
Yeah.
And growing up in the 80s, we were the Gen Xers in the 90s. Like that was it. And I think that over the school, we were evacuated into board and base. Really. I think that we had thicker skin in the 80s for sure. And then we were taught, like the 90s, somewhere in there, it was, you know what? Fuck it. Can't do anything about it.
Yeah.
Just don't. Yeah, the don't give a shit attitude, I believe, came in the 90s.
I mean, I think that's fair, but I mean, we also have to look at the fact that, like for example, the baby boomers, they did have, like they were hiding underneath their desks in case a nuclear bomb went off.
Yeah.
So I mean,
they had that.
I mean, that wasn't a good time either.
No, but I think that they were very cautious. The boomers were very cautious.
I'd say so.
Very untrusting. Where the Gen Xers were very, you know what? If you're gonna hit me, hit me.
Fuck it. It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen.
You really want to hit me?
Here we go.
And there was a lot of resiliency there. Like we were just different. And oh God, our son is 12, and I told him, I go, dude, when I was 12, I was smoking cigarettes in a treehouse.
Yeah,
100%.
It's a funny thing now. My daughter's 13, and Ange and I go and smoke a cigar, and she's like, "What the hell?"
We wanted to be adults as kids, man. We did. We wanted to do what our parents were doing. We wanted to smoke cigarettes. We wanted to drink beer.
Still want to be an adult.
One of these days it's going to happen, Jay. I don't know when.
Someday I'm gonna grow up. I don't know when that's gonna be, but
Today's not that day, and tomorrow's not looking good either.
no, exactly. So we look at a lot of kids though, and I was talking to a teacher, and I was like, "How are kids nowadays?" And he's like, "Yeah, they're pretty challenging. A lot of issues, right?" And I was like, "God damn it! Is it them or is it the parents or is it the kids?" And they're like, "Well, it's kind of both." And I was like,
Yes to
"Okay,
all.
that's all." And then I was
Yes
like,
to
"Wait
all.
a minute, that's our generation's kids.
Yeah.
Where did we fuck up?"
Well, some of the ones that had them young,
Yeah.
softened the shit out of them. I'm sorry,
I
there
mean,
are people
okay,
that are
well,
softer than baby shit out there.
so the ones who were soft,
Mhm.
like who had kids early, their kids are already grown up. Their kids are in the late 20s, early 30s.
Mhm.
It's just statistically is what it is, right?
Yeah.
So I mean, realistically, like for our age group, most of our kids, except for like us late starters too, right?
Sure.
Most of the kids are in like 20s or 30s.
Yeah, that's true. Oh,
So
Young and the Restless theme forever etched in my head.
ugh. I was, I had a rule. I was never gonna date a woman who watched soap operas.
Well, here's the thing. I agree with you because they're insane.
Yeah.
But what with General Hospital? I think it's on. Remember Kelsey watched it for a while.
No,
I
our
think it was-
generation did not. Well, kind of did actually, because
no.
I do remember when my son was playing soccer, and I showed up one day. I was working and I got there to the game late, so they had finished up.
Mhm.
And I said, "Hey, bud, how did you do? Did you win?" He goes, "Oh, Dad, we don't play to win. We play to have fun."
Ugh.
And I looked at him. I was like, "What?" And my wife goes, "They don't keep score apparently now. They just play to have fun." And I looked at him. I said, "Is it more fun to win or lose?" And he goes, "Well, to win. So play to win.
So
There's
win.
nothing wrong with it."
You know what? And on the same vein of what you're saying, did our generation introduce participation trophies? Yes, they did.
Yeah.
Yes, they did. And I'll say that
Sadly.
out loud that it was people my age that said, you know what, as long as you're good. You know why I think it is? Because a lot of us sucked at what we were doing. And we
Yeah.
just gave up doing it.
Well, I mean, there's a lot of truth in that. I mean, and then this whole concept of everyone is good. You can be anything you want.
No,
to
you
be.
can't. You can be shitty.
Well, I mean, now you can be anything you want. It just doesn't mean you're going to get anywhere with it. You can call yourself whatever the heck you want to be, right?
AC, we are generations apart. Sailor Moon and Pokemon at noon. You know what I had? Inspector Gadget and then Thundercats.
Inspector Gadget, Thundercats, and The Simpsons.
Yeah. Yeah, that was it.
You know,
and we were
eating Chef Boyardee right out of the can.
Yeah. I don't believe salmonella was a thing when we were kids.
I remember going over to a friend's house back in the day, and he fed us there. We were young kids, and he just opened up the cupboard and pulled out a few cans of Chef Boyardee and dumped it into a bowl. And I was like, we're just gonna do this, raw dog it,
You're looking at it like, what the hell is this? So like,
it's not even warm, dude.
You're like,
warm-ish, but
but I get to see it. You're a kid. You come to my house. I open up a can of Chef Boyardee. I dump it in a bowl. I put a spoon in there. You're like, what the hell is that? I'm like, it's a spoon. You probably had your own chopsticks.
Yeah, chopsticks. Yeah. Where's the rice?
Can you eat Italian with Chinese utensils?
Of course you could.
I don't know. You could probably eat anything with that.
I mean, why wouldn't you? Chinese have noodles too. You racist. Where do you think the noodles came from?
You have ravioli out of a can. I guess
it's really, it's all cultural appropriation on you guys' part, all you Italians and everything, right? So it's all Chinese food.
What came first, the pierogi or the dumpling?
Well, that's a good question.
That is a good question. I don't know who would possibly know the answer to that.
Hey, ChatGTP.
Well, the Chineses were here a lot longer.
Well, yeah, sure. We've been here for thousands of years.
Billions.
I agree. Invented dumplings? Dumplings. Chinese. What
came first, the pierogi or the dumpling?
Ukrainians. Which came first? Pierogies.
Lion-O from the Thundercats, right?
They're making a Thundercats. Aren't they making a Thundercats movie, eh?
I would hope so. And I think Vin Diesel has to play Panthro. 100%. The guy looks like him anyway.
Okay. So China is the birthplace of the dumpling, while many cultures, including Ukraine, developed their own versions. Oh, so Chinese jiaozi predate Ukrainian valeniki.
Vianica.
What's with all the Y's and K's in your
What's
language?
with all the shapes that look like you
Like,
just put a bunch of
God,
toothpicks on the ground for your
it's,
language?
it's, it's a
Enough.
language. So by 1,000 years. So what do you think about that? 1,000 years,
Hey, you
eh?
guys invented it. We
Yeah.
perfected it. That's
Oh
fine.
yeah. Okay, there we go.
Guys-
Archaeologists have found physical remains of dumplings. That's hardcore. They're still there.
It's the MSG. That's why.
Preserves everything. Preserves everything.
Jeepers.
Okay, so it actually came through the Silk Road. Filled dough began traveling westward, and while beloved in Eastern Europe, these are much younger than their Asian cousins. Historians believe the filled dumplings arrived in Eastern Europe via the Mongols in the 13th century. And oh my God, this is the most Ukrainian thing ever. One credit Saint Hyacinth with bringing the pierogies from Kiev to Poland. So, like, pierogies was such a big deal. You sainted a guy.
Yeah, why wouldn't you? You guys didn't even saint them. Like, why didn't you saint your dumpling guy?
I think that's great. Like, good for you. I mean, you understand. China is a clear winner for seniority. The pierogi is essentially a European evolution of a culinary concept that started in which is better.
Oh,
here we go.
Depends. Here's the problem. Hang on, before you hit enter, you got what 80 billion Chinese out there that have probably already said dumplings are better. So I mean, there's
you know what? This actually breaks it down pretty good. There's a case for both of them. Texture is better with Chinese. Flavor profiles more aromatic. Dipping sauce and the variety. But for the case for the pierogi, what do you call it? Velinikov or something?
Vianica.
Varienica. Okay. The comfort factor. The ultimate hug in a bowl. Okay.
That's what Ukrainians are considered. We consider ourselves little hugs.
The toppings rely on the dip. The pierogi rely on fat, sauteed onions, crispy bacon bits, squarky.
Hey, squatka.
Squatka. Okay.
Squatka is bacon bits.
Looks like squarky. And a massive dollop of sour cream make them incredibly indulgent. Sweet versus savory. Eastern European dumplings pivot to dessert much more effectively. That's fair. 100%. You wouldn't want to be eating shrimp for dessert. In satiety, they're often stuffed with starch, so served with butter, so they're more filling than standard plates.
Well, and the pierogi is I want everybody to figure out a 90s some food or something that you were introduced. I could tell you the one thing that was introduced to me in the 90s, but the sauce. What's the sauce, Jalen?
Yeah.
Let's see if you know anything about my culture. What's the sauce?
The sauce?
What's the sauce? Anybody in chat? What's
Do you
the
mean
Ukrainian
sour cream?
Sauce? Nope. What's the sauce?
I couldn't say. I have no idea. Yeah, no idea.
So as Ukrainians, because we're a husky bunch, not only did we put like cream or sour cream on stuff, we would fry heavy cream in butter and onions,
of course,
and dill.
Oh, okay.
That creamy dill sauce.
Okay, yeah, okay.
You can put that shit on anything, and
that's fair.
I can hear myself getting fatter whenever I eat it.
Yeah, good times. You're actually sweating out sour cream.
You know what? The nice thing about a place like Dauphin, not a single vampire, none.
Oh,
the amount of garlic out there, and it works.
Kind of like it's almost like what Alberta did with rats, right? There's just no rats there. There's probably no vampires around that area.
Not a single vampire in Dauphin or anywhere around our house. So we're doing it right.
I mean, that makes sense. Like
what was something that you tried in the 90s that it just, there's one thing that drills into my head that cream sauce. Yes, you're right. New potatoes. That drills in your head. That was something that it was such a 90s thing to have.
In the 90s.
You had to eat it. Something. You had to consume it.
Okay. That's McDonald's pizza.
That was the thing, and it was not good.
No, it wasn't good at all. Pizza. It wasn't good at all. And I don't know. There were some really weird beers.
I remember Molson Shorts came out.
Yeah.
It was a half can.
Yeah.
And the reason they made a shorter can was because by the time you got to the bottom half of your beer, it was warm. So they made half cans, and it was Molson Dry.
Yep.
Short.
That makes sense.
I remember the Orange Julius.
Oh, yeah. For sure.
Had one flavor.
Those are
orange.
Perfect. Yeah. That's all you needed.
If I could
apparently other flavors.
Apparently, but if I wanted to taste the 90s,
yeah,
it was an Orange Julius.
Or how about that when yogurt was big? Yoga and Fruz.
Was that later? It might have
It
been late
it
90s.
must have been 90s, right?
Oh,
Ish. And it was
frozen.
like
Oh, Frogurt
frozen
bars.
hard Frogurts. Yeah.
Yeah, Kraft Dinner was still good. You know what?
Well, that's not
KD
wrong.
never was great, but it didn't go bad. It was
No.
just there.
So, you know what else was I don't remember really ever having but I remember like it was popular. I never really ate them, but they were popular and they're everywhere, okay? And they continued on for years. Dunkaroos,
Oh, see,
right? Like
I would have been beyond the age of packing a lunch when
yeah,
those came out.
my brother and sister were really they ate them. So they were around and I remember that, but I remember they weren't really good either.
No, I don't think they are good now. Like I remember the closest thing we had back in the day was the cheese whiz and long crackers
Yeah.
and the little red stick to smear it. Remember
Oh
those?
yeah. Those are great.
They were great. They had peanut butter ones before apparently
Oh, the
peanut butter
peanut
was
butter
in
ones were
them.
the best. I mean, that was not peanut butter. That was more like candy more than anything.
But that's all we had. We didn't have
Yeah.
gushers and snacks. What okay,
No.
what did you have as snacks towards graduation? What was there?
Hickory sticks.
Hickory sticks, mouth roof splinters. They were
Yeah.
fantastic.
Yeah, they were great.
And you can still buy them.
Yes,
Terrible,
yeah, you
terrible
can.
to dip with. Terrible to dip with.
Well, I mean, the problem with them is like they take so long to eat, right?
Mhm.
You grab a handful of them, you toss them in your mouth, and you miss half of them go everywhere, right?
Oh, exactly. You can tell when I've been eating hickory sticks.
Yeah.
But I mean, we had things that again they don't exist the way they did. We had
No.
culture. We had social spots like the
Yeah.
arcades that
Yep.
existed. We had Nexties. Put your quarter down. You got
Yes,
Nexties on the game.
absolutely. Yeah. You have
And
payphones. You like
did you ever hack the payphone
in which way?
with the safety pin?
Oh, that's not the hacking I thought you meant.
Wagon wheels. That
Wagon
was all
wheels.
my
They
grandmother
still
put on
have
lunch.
them, but they're smaller now.
No,
Like they're
we're
just
bigger.
these little things.
We're
No,
just
you go
bigger.
get one now, and they're the smallest. They're like almost the size of a freaking Oreo, right?
We had snacks that were better back in the day, like the snack and a half. Do you remember snack and a half?
Snack and a half.
Snack and a half was a ice cream treat, and it was snack and a half was 2 oatmeal cookies,
Right.
ice cream in the middle, and the whole thing was covered in chocolate.
Oh God,
And it was a
I don't remember
frozen
that.
ice cream sandwich, and it was so good.
I don't remember that.
I do.
Uh,
Oh,
the-
hang on. AJ put a few extra. AJ, hop in chat, man.
Yeah, just
Pearl
get in
Jam,
the
Stone
chat.
Temple Pilots, Jane's Addiction, Alice in Chains, MLB. Who was MLB? MLB. Temple the Dog for sure.
Smashing Pumpkins.
What was MLB? What was the band? AJ, what was the band? MLB. The band MLB. If
I don't know. You mean
Mother Love
Major
Bone.
League?
bet you it was
Major
Mo- I
League
bet you it was Mother
Baseball
Love
or
Bone.
something, or
No, it
what?
was probably Mother Love Bone.
Okay.
But again, we had the cultural things that we had. We acted like what we were watching and consuming, which is
Yeah.
not different than what's happening now.
Right.
But I think I told you the clean shaven thing last week. Like
Clean
why
shaven.
why were
Oh
guys
yeah.
because of Friends. Friends was a cultural phenomenon because you had Friends, which were
Yeah.
just these friends, and then you went from Friends to like Melrose Place.
Yes. Yeah.
Those were the shows.
Yeah.
And Baywatch, of course.
Baywatch, of course.
But
yeah.
you had the light and the serious, and that was a nighttime soap opera. Friends was like our everybody's life. We all wanted to be one of the characters.
Of course.
Okay,
There was also Seinfeld too.
if you were on Friends, who would you have been?
Oh God. With my luck, probably would have been Ross or something.
Maybe.
You know,
I think I
was definitely not cool enough to be Joey.
No, I probably would like Ms. Chandler Bong.
Miss Chandler.
Do you remember that?
No.
They did like these are so great in our heads that I remember they did a game,
Right.
a trivia game. How well do you know each other?
Right.
To switch apartments.
Okay.
And like some of the
I
questions,
don't remember that.
What's
Yeah.
Joey's favorite food? Sandwiches. And who does the TV guy get delivered to?
Okay.
And she goes, Chandler Bing. And she goes, no, Ms. Chandler Bong. And for some reason, that is still in my head as useless trivia.
That's hey, that useless trivia has to go somewhere. There was one episode, I remember seeing a clip of it just recently. It was like, that's funny, with Robin Williams and Billy Crystal.
They were on Friends?
They were on Friends.
I gotta watch Friends again. That's a show I could get the kids to watch Friends all day long. I think they'd love that show.
Well, you got to Google this one because it was funny, because apparently they just riffed it, right?
Really?
And they came in and they were sitting on their couches, so the friends were like, "What the hell is going on here?" Right?
Nice.
And they start talking about, like, because like they're gay, and they're like, "Oh, you gave me an STD," and all these things.
And you can say that.
They're just so loud and so flamboyant and crazy, and the friends are just like, "What the hell's going on?" And they try to chime in. They're like, "I'm sorry, we're having a conversation here."
Jesus, there's a show right now that I don't know if I sent you the clip, but you remember the show Ted?
Yeah, yeah,
or the movie Ted.
Yeah.
Well, there's a show where it's in the 90s and he's a teenager.
Okay, yeah.
And his dad is such an asshole, but it's so good. And how they put this out, I can't believe they do it, but it is so exactly like it. Look it up. You guys will thank me later and laugh your asses off.
I'll take a look at it. I think you put that in my comments.
I did, because Ted is nailing it.
I saw one clip online where like the dad was working in like a donut shop,
and Bill Clinton came in.
And Bill Clinton comes in.
That's Seth MacFarlane.
Like, oh, yeah, like, this is great. Like, this is pretty damn good, right?
It is good. It's well written, and and Seth MacFarlane grew up in that, and he lived that.
But how, like I have very good memories of going into Robin's Donuts late at night and sitting on those swivel stools at their donut bar and just chatting with like the people working there and just having a donut and coffee.
Skipping class to go to Crickets. You could skip class and go for coffee. Crickets used to be where Gondola is now. At the Keystone. At the Key Rock.
Oh, geez, yeah. Oh, yeah, we went for coffee there.
We go for coffee, every once in a while. No, we'd actually go for coffee. Like we skip class, and every once in a while, the strippers would come in for breakfast.
Something. Yeah, exactly. Right.
And it was fun.
I forgot that was a place. Yeah. That's crazy.
But we had, and that was what we did. We actually socialized. We did things.
What was that there was a restaurant where forbidden is Frank's fried chicken.
Chicken and ribs.
Yeah.
Frank's chicken and ribs.
Yeah.
Yep. I remember he had a Volkswagen thing that he parked out there all the time. It was called a Volkswagen thing. It was just like the jalopy, like the Archie comics.
Yeah.
That thing was a Volkswagen thing.
And the guy, he had like the biggest mustache ever. Right?
He sure did.
Yeah.
And he made amazing ribs. And we had some of the best restaurants.
I never ate there.
Really? It was phenomenal. He was legendary. Absolutely.
Crazy.
But we had movies. We had stuff that, like Roadhouse.
Oh, class. What was Roadhouse 90s?
I want to say it would be close to the 90s. It would have been
89.
Okay, so right up there.
Right up there. Yeah.
But I remember, if I had to define the 90s if it was with a band, it might be Rage Against the Machine.
That's fair. Yeah.
And if it was a movie, Clerks.
Oh yeah, that's fair. That's good. That's a good one.
Clerks. And there was an example of somebody like Kevin Smith who had piss all. The dude, he maxed out his credit cards to make that movie. He did it in the corner store that he worked in. Did it in black and white because he couldn't afford to get into lighting, and made it happen. And that's where you look at people that it shouldn't have happened, but they made it happen instead of expecting someone to do it for them. So
I'll challenge you with one movie that probably has more significance now than almost anything.
Say Die Hard, that doesn't count because it spans
that's in the 80s. Yeah. Okay. 12 Monkeys.
Ooh, I got to rewatch that one.
You haven't seen that one?
No, I got to rewatch it.
Oh, rewatch it. Okay. So like it was like, the apocalypse and everything and how crazy people get and everything. It's like, time travel and stuff, but crazy.
Did you see the I'm not going to get political, but did you see any clips from the NDP convention in Winnipeg?
Oh my God. And they're done. And they're done.
Like, we're not going to get into it, but I saw this and I thought that it was a parody. I thought that I was watching some AI generated shit. I'm like, you
can't take it seriously. I'm sorry. As a political party, they're done now.
No, they got a whole new fan base. They're
Oh,
good.
oh God. I mean, like they used to stand for something pretty good. The workman's group, right? Just for the workers, the average, blue collar. Now it's like
I don't know.
it's a train wreck.
I don't know. But you know what I loved about the 90s? If you were a little fucking weird, someone would just tell you, like, what the hell's your deal? Like,
Yeah,
we would
yeah,
ask you to your face, what's your deal?
yeah, yeah.
Like, and it's fine. It was, but it
Maybe
was
maybe
good to be different.
you got hit.
Nobody was a victim.
No.
That's what it was in the 90s.
Yeah, yeah.
Nobody was a victim.
So classic movie. Did you ever see this one?
Okay.
Army of Darkness. Give me a quote.
Good, bad. I'm the one with the gun.
There we go. Yeah.
Give me some sugar,
sugar,
mama.
baby.
Give me some sugar, baby. Shop smart, shop smart, shop smart.
Smart. Yeah. This is my boomstick.
We had such unapologetic films back then. Spaceballs was the 90s.
I see your Schwartz is as big as mine.
I don't want to get my shorts twisted. But we have quotable movies that we don't have that anymore.
Quote something from any one of the last Marvel movies made in the last 5 years.
If I just say I am Iron Man, that's easy pickings.
That's not 5 years though. That's 15 years.
Nothing.
Eh?
There's nothing. Like I think we have so much to watch. Spaceballs 2 next year.
Yes,
that's right. The
yes,
search for more money.
Search for more money.
Here's a fun fact. Do you remember the merchandising table that Yogurt had?
Yep.
And he had Spaceballs the flamethrower?
Yes.
The kids love this one.
Yeah, the kids love this one. Yeah.
Who was inspired? Do you know what that actually became something, right?
Probably became the Boring Company's flamethrower by Elon
It was
Musk.
not a flamethrower.
Oh, sorry,
it was called Not a Flamethrower.
And
it came with $5 cash in there so you could buy propane for it. I wanted
wanted
so
one
bad.
of those things so bad too.
I still do, but they're probably thousands of dollars now.
They are thousands of dollars. They are a ton of money now.
He sold them for $150.
Did you know that Lone Star?
Yep.
Okay. Like the way, like when they approached Lucas and they said they wanted to make a parody, they said, okay, but the main character cannot look like Han Solo. So they made him look like Indiana Jones.
I never thought of that.
Yeah.
He does. He looks like Indiana Jones.
He's got the hat on and everything. And I didn't hear about that until like last year. And then I was like, looked at it again. I was like, that's really brilliant. Like, that's really clever writing.
And Mel Brooks, God bless him. Like when we lose him.
Yeah, like that's gonna be a loss, you know. Like if he dies this year, this is the worst year in a lot of years. I mean, the 2026 took Chuck Norris of all things, you know.
Well, Chuck probably got up there and
he volunteered.
Said the big guy is like, "Hey, you're in my chair."
Yeah. Did you hear who they're saying the new Chuck Norris is though?
Don't say Rickman.
Alan Richman.
Really?
Alan Richson. Yeah.
Maybe.
You know, because of that whole neighborhood thing, right?
Oh, that guy had it coming.
Yeah, you don't mess with Alan Richardson. Don't mess with Reacher.
You know, and the funny thing about that is, and there's a guy who, and he's like, whatever. He goes, and he's laughing about it now. He's like, this asshole had a gun. But smart on him to have a body cam on him at all times.
Absolutely.
Like
holy God. Like I remember when the cops started wearing them, it was like, oh, is that necessary? And now I'm going, like, maybe this is necessary. Like, I want to get something for my motorcycle or my car. Or,
meta glasses.
Yeah, right.
I'm
it makes some sense.
I did just get them in. My metas. Well, I had to send them up to get lenses, right?
Right.
And they had lenses on for half price, so I finally got them and they're here. But because my prescription has changed, I put them on. I'm like, what the hell? Like I can see it's like everything's like 3D now.
Everything's fixed.
Yeah. So, but these are my old ones, but I can't get used to them yet. You're supposed to just wear them so your head adjusts to it, but I can't do it.
Oh, really?
But they're cool. Like they best love my wife, best gift ever. Like
are they like how much are those things? Like they're not a lot of money, eh?
No, like these frames when I bought them were $400. Those frames are $5.
That's okay.
Super cool.
I need sunglasses anyways. I should get a set.
You can get transitions because you wear contacts.
Yeah, I wear contacts, so
they come clear. Or you can get transitions, so you can wear them all the time if you want.
I mean, it's like you can't get a GoPro anymore, so I might as well get something like that.
You can't get a GoPro anymore. Are they done?
The company went broke.
No shit. Not that was a safe bet for an investment.
They're toast. Like I don't know. Is GoPro around even?
Well, why would you have a GoPro if you can have something that's in your glasses and you can just voice it?
That's the thing. Like they were pretty. They're still around, I guess. But like,
What was the best movie of the night? Like, remember when they made great movies?
yeah, yeah.
Great movies. And there's one that there was a bunch of them. I would say
There's a lot of great movies that came out in the
Robin
90s.
Williams was in his golden years in the 90s.
Yeah, so you're gonna say like Prince of Thieves or Dances with Wolves or something like that?
No, I didn't like either one of those actually.
No?
Nope. I would say Dead Poet Society,
Yeah, yeah,
Good
that's
Will
fair.
Hunting.
Yes, definitely.
Seven was a killer movie.
Mortal Kombat.
Oh, that was such a bad movie, but I
No,
watched the shit out of that.
that was good. You got Leon, right?
Leon.
It was called The Professional back then. It was
Oh,
with
yes,
young Natalie Portman, right? And
Yes.
she gets trained to be like
Assassin.
yeah. But then you get stuff like like Schwarzenegger and Stallone were just on their mark. You had like what there was Total Recall. You had Terminator 2. Like there's a lot. Last Action Hero, right? There's a lot of movies.
And they made films, they made music
Yeah.
that you didn't have to worry about like somebody getting offended by a film. Then don't
Right.
watch the movie. Please
Right.
don't watch it. And this is again where I've said horror has come back into its golden age because you know what you're signing up for. You're watching a
Yeah.
horror movie, it's gonna be fucked up.
Yeah.
And I don't care. Like, what's the last comedy that came out? What's the last funny movie that came out? Jim Carrey had his heyday in the 90s.
Definitely. But the Mask was like the big one, right?
Yeah.
And like Dumb and or not Dumb, yeah, Dumb and Dumber. And then you have
Ace
Pet
Ventura, and then
Detective.
you had Liar Liar, you had these movies, Bruce Almighty.
Bruce Almighty.
But we had these movies, and if you couldn't make Bruce Almighty now.
No.
You
What was the
couldn't make-
last comedy that really came out? Well, I mean, it's going to be the new Scary Movie.
That
out yet?
is, I love the fact that they just said piss on it. If you don't like it, don't watch it. If you're going to get pissy about it, you're not going to cancel
People
Scary
are
Movie.
calling for a canceling of it. It's like, why? Just don't go to it.
What does canceling mean?
It means nothing. It's like, I feel offended, so I'm going to make sure that nobody else ever feels the same way.
Right.
Why do you think you have the authority to govern how another person feels?
Because the dumbest person in the room is generally the loudest person in the room.
100%.
I'll say that out loud all day long.
Yeah. Okay, here you go. The Rock.
Good fan theory on The Rock.
The James Bond one?
It makes sense because he was in Alcatraz.
It does make sense, doesn't it?
And he escaped Alcatraz.
Yeah. Only Bond could do that.
And Sean Connery is still the best Bond that ever lived.
He is the best Bond.
Although I grew up with Roger Moore.
So did I, but I still prefer the Sean Connery, and I always have. But that's okay. We'll see what the new one's going to be.
Well, okay, go back and look at other films that came out back then. We had Austin Powers.
Yeah.
Which couldn't be made today.
No.
Isn't that messed up?
Ironically, if you looked at it, like Austin Powers took place in the 90s of a movie of a guy from the 60s, right?
Right.
So it would be like one of us was frozen in the 90s and was thought out today. And it wouldn't be that weird. It would be like, oh, that's your phone. It's like, oh, that's small.
Well, that would have been like
Cool,
Back to the Future. If we were frozen, we would have came back in the 90s.
Yes.
Or if we would have gone back in time.
Right. Yes.
30 years. It would have been 1996. Like I was graduating. Oh, Christ. I was graduating in 96. 95.
But like from the 80s to the 50s, it was such a drastic change is ridiculous, right? The interview. I mean, like, and it got there were war sanctions or something, right?
Well, the funny thing is the interview was okay.
Yeah, it was okay. It was
okay. But I mean, it was still very much like
I wouldn't watch it again.
No, if I could watch another one again, I'd be Tropic Thunder all day long.
That's fair. 100%. Face Off was another good one that came out in the 90s.
I remember when that came out. I got pale when I saw them peel the faces off. I was like,
they just take the face off. Right.
But here's the thing. I like horror movies. I could see someone get torn apart, no problem. When I see surgery, I can't watch like Grey's Anatomy.
Okay. Yeah.
I can't.
Yeah. Well, nobody should watch Grey's Anatomy.
Oh, here's where we go. Before streaming turned us into zombies, and this I forgot that I pulled this up. The X-Files. Trust no one, especially the government. The messages that we got.
Yeah.
Friends, when sitcoms didn't need moral lessons. Makes sense. There wasn't
fair.
No one learned anything in Friends. There was didn't wrap up the end. Seinfeld, a show about nothing that meant everything.
Yeah. I mean, Seinfeld was brilliant writing, and it's still going, really, like through Curb Your Enthusiasm.
For sure it is. Beavis and Butthead, intellectual peak of dumb brilliance.
Yep. Yep, that's fair. Yeah.
I can't watch. Evan, you're going to get me to throw up in my living room if I watch The Pit. MTV and Much Music used to be music, and you sat there and you watched the videos. And like, we have an Amazon Fire Stick, right? And they have the video channels. I'm like, holy shit, these people are still making videos. Like, there's still videos being made of songs.
That's funny. Yeah, yeah. It's strange. You don't see them anymore, really.
I remember hanging out in the mall, and I remember the Coca-Cola countdown used to be on Much Music. Yeah. Okay, which store, anybody, was playing Much Music all the time? In the mall, in our mall. Only one.
What was that one called?
I could tell you what they sold.
Because they changed names.
Mm-mm.
No?
Nope. Nope. They sold Hypercolor.
Was that North Shore? Nope. No, that wasn't North Shore.
No, North Shore sold Chip and Pepper.
Then it would be Bootlegger.
No. They sold, remember the silk shirts?
Oh, Randy River.
Randy River.
The flames and everything, right?
They had the silk shirts.
The golf shirts. Yeah.
Yep.
Or not golf, bowling shirts. Bowling shirts.
Bowling shirts. But and everybody had a silk shirt, and we all had Stun Ices.
Yes.
I didn't have one. We weren't poor, but I remember asking my parents, like, you guys have money? And Dad was like, no. I have money. You have shit. Yeah. You don't have shit. You want to buy that? Are you a professional skier? No,
go for it.
You don't need a Stun Ice.
Hey, Stun Ice is still around too, right?
They are. But
like, there's still a company that's I don't know if they're expensive or anything. Like, they sure were like hot back in the day. Now their stuff just looks like, like, there's a thing with a lot of athletic wear. It all looks the same.
Hang on. Zubaz pants. That's not a thing anymore. Remember parachute pants?
Oh God. Yeah. Yeah. With the Velcro strap and everything, right? So
everything got, girls had stirrup pants. Like, they were like parachute pants with things under the feet for some goddamn
under
reason.
The feet. Yeah.
Yeah. But we did have things that were so 90s. Now there's nothing what's defining 2026 for things people are wearing?
What's defining the last 10 years?
Nothing. There's no style.
You know what defined the 90s? Flannel.
I pulled that through the 90s and the 80s.
Right?
Flannel.
Or Doc Martens.
I had Docs. Docs were a definite 90s thing. And
I'd buy Docs again. Like, it's actually really tempting to get a set.
It's a good shoe.
They're great shoes,
However, American History X made us kind of think differently about the Doc Marten.
Yeah, the American History X did make it a little bit like, maybe I don't want to wear those.
Yeah, you definitely didn't put the red laces on them.
Yeah, exactly.
That was also,
trench coats were really popular back then too.
Oh, yeah, they were. Dusters, remember all those?
Yeah, Dusters. I always wanted one of those. But I mean, it was from The Matrix and from movies like I think it was like Highlander had trench coats, right?
So did Columbine.
Yeah, that's when they started being less popular. There
was a sudden decline in the sale of trench coats at one point in time.
Remember, I remember Columbine, and it was like, oh my God, there's a shooting. Like, oh my, like, this is, and they're treating it like such a big deal. And I was like, oh my God, like,
but
I didn't realize that it was. I didn't realize that before Columbine, like, there weren't as many school shootings down the States, and it really escalated. Like, just hit full momentum at that point in time. It was crazy.
It did, and I remember if you go back into, because Columbine happened late 90s, right? That would have been 1999. 99.
Yeah.
So I remember, hang on a second. I got to figure this out.
Columbine. Yeah. April 20th, 1999.
Okay. 1991. Okay. I had this on vinyl because I'm rebuilding. Okay. There's an album that came out in 1991 that had a song, and I remember listening to the song, and I remember seeing the video. I'm like, this could never fucking happen. And it was so, like, it was a scary, terrifying thought.
Right.
And how?
Right.
I couldn't wrap my brain around it. And then Columbine happened, and the first thing that came to mind was this song.
Right.
What song am I talking about that came out in 1991?
I don't know.
Jeremy by Pearl Jam.
Oh, yeah.
The
Yeah.
album
Okay.
10 came out in 1991.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. And I remember watching that video. I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
This kid comes and blows all the kids away that picked on him.
Yeah.
And when that happened, that song popped into my head instantly.
Before that, we used to, it was the postal service that was the issue.
But I remember hearing about postal, but I don't remember anybody did anybody actually do that?
Oh
Or did
yeah,
people just
it had
shit?
happened down in the States where people came in and they actually got shot. That's why they called it going postal.
Right.
They even made video games on that called Postal.
Really?
Yeah,
Of course they did.
yeah, of course.
No, I think that
because
we
it was
had
still okay. It was still kind of, you could kind of joke about that a little bit. It was horrible, but it was like, you could like, somebody made a school shooting game nowadays. It's like bad taste, bad taste.
Remember back before the world was sanitized? I think the 90s was the last time that we weren't completely sanitized. Like I remember pizza day at Massey.
Yeah,
It was just the pizzas were out.
yeah.
Here's your $2. Just grab a piece.
Grab a piece.
Grab
just
a piece.
The way you go. Yeah.
And the donuts were the same thing. Grab a donut.
But I'm thinking that pizzas were made better back then too.
Oh, Evan, I hate to tell you, he shot his classmates.
Yeah,
he sure did. Watch the video again. You see the kids like this.
Is also the other show that was the song that was pretty similar. Janie's Got a Gun.
Janie's Got a Gun. And again, Aerosmith was in their prime because Janie's Got a Gun was an abusive stepfather or dad.
Yeah.
I think dad. And that was one where it was that video came out and I think it almost got banned.
Could be. Yeah.
It almost got banned, or it did get banned eventually because when it first came out, I'm going to ask, hang on.
Yeah. Dark subject matter, child abuse, revenge killing, censorship of the lyrics for radio. It was actually 89. So about SA by the father. And it was altered because of the graphic lyrics. The lyrics are pretty graphic, so would not be played for. It's going to be changed to so the lyrics were changed quite a bit because of it.
Hang on. I apologize, Evan. You are correct.
Really? I thought it was about shooting kids too.
Here we go. The story in the song, it is a real life incident and it was inspired by, it's about a boy who dies by suicide in front of his classmates, not harming them. Pearl Jam has confirmed this repeatedly over the years. The confusion comes from the music video because I remember the classmates like this, which MTV censored so heavily that the aiming became ambiguous. Without the original final shot, many viewers assumed it was a school shooting scenario.
That's fair. Okay. Yeah.
You are correct.
Yeah.
You are correct.
There's a lot of controversial songs back then, actually, like Cop Killer.
And that was when Ice-T went metal for a minute.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was an intense one. People were pretty upset about that one.
Well, and we had songs like we had NWA. That was in the 90s.
Yep.
But that is where the hip hop culture kind of came out.
Well, okay. So I read Will Smith's autobiography, no, it wasn't. Wasn't. Do you want to call that an autobiography? It was his story, right?
Sure.
And he was talking about being in the hip hop culture, and I started thinking about it. I'm like, holy God, he was right at the start. He was like one of the top rap artists at the time, and I for some reason it just blanked out of my mind that he was like one of the big ones back then with NWA and everything.
What was the first rap you heard? What was the first rap you owned?
First rap that I never really bought any rap until I don't know. Probably Weird Al Yankovic.
Yeah, that's fair. I had Ice-T Power was the first rap album that I ever bought.
I never bought rap. Runaway Train, it was intense video. Yeah, that's accurate. So
and Runaway Train was responsible for finding like 27 children.
Seriously, it was Soul Asylum.
Yeah, Soul Asylum. And what happened was those were actual missing children links or ads. And because of that video, a large, I don't know the exact number, but a large number of those kids were found thanks to that video.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, Runaway Train was 1993 from Minneapolis.
Yep. Yeah, like it did a lot of good, and that was also back in time when people did some really first rap I ever listened to was Epic Rap Battles of History. Yeah, that was a thing. There's an age gap here.
Nice, nice.
First rap I actually heard was the Beastie Boys.
Oh yeah, you know what? I'm gonna give you that. It would 100% be Beastie Boys or Shamrock Shenanigans.
Oh, House of Pain.
House of Pain.
House of Pain were fantastic.
They were great for just a bunch of Boston boys there, right?
Jump around, and it was we could all listen to it, and I would crank that if it ever came on. It was so good.
Yeah.
But I mean, we had such aggressive stuff back then, and now the aggressive stuff we have is like mumble rock. I can't understand half the shit that I'm hearing.
You know, like, so I think there's one big reason why a lot of these 90s guys are kind of tracking again, right? You know, whether you got Chad or Dave and all those guys who are just they're getting time online again.
Yep.
It's because people just kind of want to hear music again. They want to hear instruments again.
Well, yeah, and bands were bands, and I really hope that kids start playing instruments. Like I would love nothing more than if our kids decided, hey, we're gonna play the guitar and the drums, and we're gonna jam in the garage. Do it,
right?
Please.
Well, why don't they?
Well, they can't play either instrument, so there's that, but they could learn.
Well, they could.
I think it'd be fun. I would jam. I'd grab a bass again and start playing with them. Be the dad playing bass with the kids band, which would be lame but cool.
There is one group that I used to listen to. Modern, like I didn't listen to them when they were out in the 90s. I listened to them more later on with some of their later stuff. It was Collective Soul.
Collective Soul is a solid band.
Yeah,
they were a solid band, and they're coming to Minnesota too.
Are they seriously?
Yeah, Collective Soul's coming to Minnesota.
Holy crap, that would be a good one to see. Actually, I'd
go, but the problem is I have to go to Minnesota to go see it.
Well, there is that. What do they call that now?
Rock in the Fields of Minnesota.
Is that what it's called? Rock in the Fields. Because they keep changing the names over the last 20 years or 30 years or so. Yeah, Collective Soul, Cheap Trick, Quiet Riot, Smash Mouth, 5440, Helix, Harlequin, Headpins, Nick Gilder and Sweeney Todd Group, and the Pumps. So, hey, those would be good. I've seen the Headpins.
Here's some of the 90s attitude that we had back in the day. Whatever was the word. So Mean Girls would have came out in the 90s.
Was that in the 90s?
When was Talk to the Hand? That was some people used to say
that's fair. Talk to the elbow.
Yeah.
Right. Talk to the elbow because the hand don't speak whore. Right.
Oh, that's right. Not caring about strangers' opinions. Here's the thing that people have to realize is that nobody really gives a shit about you. Not saying that people don't care, but
people just don't care what you're going to be doing.
No,
at all.
Like we are a speck on a rock flying around the universe, and you're worried about the opinion of someone who. Here's the thing: unless you're sleeping in my bed or writing my paycheck, I don't give a shit.
Yep, I think that was a big thing. Like I don't remember seeing as much bullying in high school, which also makes me wonder maybe I was the one doing the bullying.
No, my guess is that bullying lasted short amounts.
Yep.
Because you just punch them in the mouth.
I remember once in Massey, there was I can't remember who it was, but I remember two guys or the two brothers, they kind of got into an argument or something. And I was sitting there eating my lunch just in the hallway, and the one guy walks by, he's got tears in his eyes to his locker. A couple of seconds later, he's walking out. He's got a freaking length of a pole, a pipe.
Yeah,
and that was like the first time I was like, a weapon at school? Like, holy, like seriously, like this is kind of intense here, right?
But here's the difference: it was over quickly, and nobody copied it.
Well, it was definitely over quickly. I'll say that.
Over quickly, right? But I mean, or if two siblings got into it, they just let them go. Usually, just let them get it out. And these two brothers who beat the shit out of each other in school. Yeah, just let them do it. And that was it.
You can't do that anymore because of liability and stuff, right? Like it takes like God, if your kid got in a fight at school and accidentally hurts the other kid who started everything, all of a sudden you're looking at charges and potential lawsuit. It's
So
like seriously?
there's the problem.
Yep.
We went from like, here's the thing. What if your kid's an asshole? There's that. Okay.
Sometimes kids are just jerks and
They
they
sure are.
need to get it fed to them a little bit.
Right. So if your kid's an asshole, and trust me, if you're raising one, you know they are.
Yes.
How about that? You know that your kid's a little prick.
Yeah.
If,
Yeah.
if your kid talks some shit and gets shut up by another kid, the whole liability issue shouldn't be a thing. It
Yeah.
shouldn't be, well, who's to blame? Your kid, because your
Yeah.
kid's an asshole. And your
Right.
kid got shut up because someone was done with their shit.
Yeah.
And that needs to come back so much, because when we were kids, trust me, if you remember writing a check that your ass can't cash,
Yeah. Yeah.
that's what we knew the limits to what we could do. And if we got shut up, we stopped talking.
The problem is now with a lot of people is it used to be like you get into a little friendly bar fight or fight, like after church behind the school, right, or
Cross the
something,
Massey.
right? So
Yeah. Or the alley.
and a few punches get thrown and the cops show up and they drag you away and then your parents sort it out. And
Mhm.
now it's so different because it's like, somebody's going to get curb stomped or they're going to bring a freaking weapon and you're going to get stabbed or something, right?
I think part of that is because if you've never been in a fight, you're going to go extreme.
Yeah.
Right. There was a fist fight was an honorable thing. You got into a fight and then it was done. And you guys probably hung out the next day. Suddenly
Right.
there was some respect between the two of you, because one, you can take a punch. I didn't realize you could do that.
Yeah.
Or wow, you got me there. And suddenly it's done. There was no vengeance. There was no vengeance. There
No,
was no
exactly.
shit about someone online. Didn't happen.
Now it's just a lot easier. It keeps escalating. It keeps escalating.
But now you're
Like-
blaming everybody.
Yeah.
But the person who's at fault. Like,
Yeah.
We had one of the best fights back in the day was when a hockey player wanted to fight a football player.
Right.
Holy shit.
Right.
So you'd have a hockey kid who thought they were tough as hell, and lots of them could swing. Don't get me wrong.
Sure.
Lots of them
Yes.
could fight. However, you're going up against a football player or a farm boy that could just take a beating and keep on coming at you.
That's the other thing, right? It's like a lot of that changed. So you got the farm boys now, but there's a lot less of them that seem to be around. But for a while, it turned into the riggers, right?
I don't think you're pronouncing that right.
Yeah.
How did you type that?
Which?
You just wrote followers at highlight. How do you do that?
I just put it into Facebook.
Oh, so you're not paying attention to what I'm saying.
So then it pops up. Yeah, I'm not paying attention, right? It
Okay,
pops
keep talking.
it pops up for people that are following you.
You don't say everyone, because that's lame.
You can't do everyone. You can only do that in a group.
Tell you what, anybody that's going to say everyone, don't do it with me. It bothers me.
That's the annoying thing about being in a group is when people do post that. It's just like everyone. It's like, oh God, unless you're like in some sort of club or something where this is like you need to know these things. I don't want to hear about it, right?
Oh, I accidentally did it on the thing, not on the thing. Okay, so I hate when why doesn't it let me do it?
Maybe it just doesn't like you very much.
At highlight, at everyone. Oh, at followers. Oh, I accidentally did that on the other one.
So trends, here you go. Tech,
Yeah,
lifestyle, the portable revolution. That's when we start getting the Sony Walkman and the Discman, right? The Game Boy and the pagers.
Well,
those were good times. Like
did you ever have a pager?
Sorry, I never went up for a pager. I was like, that's dumb. Like, who's gonna need to get in touch with me that quickly, right? But back then, if you say you were at home on a Saturday and you decided you were hungry and you went over to McDonald's to get some pizza, right? Nobody could ever find you.
Yeah, but you didn't want anybody to find you.
Yeah, that was the best part. You weren't there taking a picture of your pizza and posting onto your Instagram saying, "Hey guys, this is the worst pizza I've ever had." You just went, you got your pizza, you sat there, you ate it, and then you left. Meanwhile, you could have been on Mars.
I think
for
that
all
we
people
had.
knew.
Well, you're right. What's the worst pizza you had back in the day? McDonald's. Go ahead.
And McDonald's is pretty bad. I'll give it that.
I remember.
Mr. Bones.
Oh, but that was
Yeah.
concert pizza. You went to Winnipeg for a concert?
I was because I was in Air Cadets, of course, right?
Of course.
So we would get Mr. Bones pizza. What was it, like 444, 44, 44, 4 for 1 pieces or something like that, right? And like it wasn't good, but it was a lot of pizza. It was
like
a lot
pieces for $20. It was perfect.
Like,
and you were staying at the Viscount Gourd.
Oh, the Viscount Gourd. Jesus.
I've stayed at the Viscount like in the last few years. It's not bad.
It's not bad. I stayed at the Viscount early 2000s. Maybe it was before that. Yeah, it was 98, 99. So
we had things that the rules changed. Here's where the world went. Oh,
gross.
Is the McRib overhyped?
Yes, it's disgusting.
Here's the thing. If you know a guy, you go there when the McRib is on, and you ask for a McRib muffin.
Oh,
chef's kiss
on a muffin, on one of those.
It's McMuffin.
One of those.
And again, cut the rib in half. And
what kind of muffin is it though?
Sourdough.
McGriddle, like a McGriddle muffin.
The McGriddle is the unsung hero of hangover breakfasts, I believe.
McGriddle is by far the best hangover breakfast you could ever have. I completely agree. God, I haven't had one of those in years. I haven't been hungover in years. Should get a McGriddle. We'll go do a McGriddle review.
We should do a McGriddle. We should do a live McGriddle review.
I think that'd be really good. Go for breakfast in the morning. That'd be fantastic.
And sit there and like make it fancy. But
yeah, we had candles and have ties.
We had 79-cent. I remember there was 79-cent hamburgers and 89-cent cheeseburgers. And
those are great.
And we would go and get a sack of them.
Oh yeah, we get like 50 of them and just like a bunch of guys and you just sit around and eat them.
And eating like kings, and then just bound up for the next 3 days.
Oh God, there's nothing worse than being stuck in a room with a bunch of guys who just ate a whole bunch of 89-cent cheeseburgers from McDonald's.
I remember
it's not going to go well.
They had the Prairie Pantry, which was up on the hill. Okay, it was at a gas bar.
Yeah.
And they used to have something called the Junior Burger. This thing was the size of a dinner plate. Okay, and you could get a 1, a 2, or a 3-pound burger.
Oh God.
And 4 of us from the football team went there and ate this thing, this monstrosity. Right. And then we had practice 20 minutes after we were done.
Right.
3 of us threw up.
No doubt.
Yeah.
No doubt. Now, so, okay, here's a question. There was, up on the North Hill, when did the Salisbury House close up there?
We had one here?
We had a Sal's up on the North Hill.
Was it at the Husky by chance?
No, it was where the Volvo dealer is. I swear there was one up there. I don't know. Somebody check on that for me.
You know what's funny? I had a guy I had a client in. We're talking about like what's the most whatever I'll say. What's the most Caucasian restaurant on the planet? And I said Salisbury House. He goes, yes, the Salisbury House. And he goes there every time he's in Winnipeg. He goes, it's usually like a few people in their 60s with their wives eating at the Salisbury House, and it's usually a guy named Carl and his wife Brenda, and he goes, "It is the most."
It's like cafeteria food, man.
It is. We have cafeterias in our WalMarts, man.
Have you ever had? So there was they're all long gone. Most notable one was at 149 10th Street inside Thunderbird Bowl.
Really?
Yeah. They were
Salisbury House.
Yeah.
Do you know what Salisbury steak
I thought for sure there was one up on First Street back in the day. I thought there was.
Okay, anybody in chat, do you know what a Salisbury steak is? Don't give it up. But do you guys understand what a Salisbury steak is? Don't Google it.
They never had burgers. A Salisbury never had burgers. They had nips, right?
They had nips. But a Salisbury steak is essentially a burger patty.
It's a meatloaf.
Actually, Sal's was in the old. Really, it was in the old.
Okay. Which Esso station? Which old Esso station?
Where the Prairie Pantry ended up being.
Okay.
So
I knew it was one up there. I thought it was over on First Street though. Okay.
You know how people think they're bougie because they have a Blackstone?
Yes. Yeah.
If you're putting a burger on a Blackstone, you're making a Salisbury steak.
Essentially, no, you're not.
A Salisbury steak is a burger patty on a flat top.
No, because you could be doing a smash burger, and that's different.
How is that different? Because
It is entirely different
if you put
because you're not smashing it down with a
so the
salsa.
motion is what changes the
It is
outcome.
have you had a smash burger?
It's just a meatball that you turn into a patty.
Yes, but it caramelizes the meat when you compress it, so it tastes better. It's that cheap burger that you had when you were it's a rink burger, basically. Right?
Right, but if you put instant gravy on that smash burger, you made a Salisbury steak.
No, no, it's not the same. It's different. It's still different. So
On the North Hill.
So I was a few years ago. I went to the Sal's, right? And for a while, the Sal's was on the bridge at the Forks there.
Fancy.
Yeah, fancy, fancy. I didn't get to that one because it was too cold and too far to walk.
Is it still there?
I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, essentially, you're like paying for diarrhea at that point.
Yeah, but I went to the one. There was one on Portage Avenue, and I went in there.
Ellis, I know that.
I went in there, and there were two people in there. They looked like Johnny Cash and June. Like it was like June Carter there. It was like, and they drove away in this big old F-150 truck that said "Say no to Bill C-73" or whatever it was, right?
God
and I was like, doesn't get any better than that. And so I got it. I got a nip, and I said, "It's to go. Could I get a Coke?" And they're like, "Well, we don't really have any cups." I was like, "You don't have copes for
nope.
cups for copes
nope.
or for Cokes?" It was like, okay, they're like, we can put in like a styrofoam coffee cup if you want. And I was like, I guess. So just trashing it up there. And like, so I ate that on the way home, and it wasn't good, but it wasn't bad either.
What the hell is a nip?
It's a nip.
What's a nip? Describe a nip?
It's well, you make it's like a meatloaf, and you slice off a piece of it, and
so it's a piece of meatloaf.
No, well, yeah, it's a nip, right? It's
Jesus Christ.
It's different.
You know what? I haven't made a meatloaf in a while, and honest to shit, if there was a down home, we're just gonna eat meatloaf today. Meatloaf is one of those things that is so comfortable to eat, and it's lovely. And what's the sauce you put on top?
Yeah,
ketchup,
and barbecue sauce. Okay,
and that's fancy.
And I put bacon all over it.
You would.
Okay, and okay, I'll be done in a bit. Go away, Taylor. Thank you very much. So the other thing,
Daddy's trying to entertain people.
I found the secret. I'm trying to entertain one person. We discovered the secret ingredient for meatloaf. Okay, you make the meatloaf as normal, but you put a really big pickle on the inside. You put a pickle on the inside of the meatloaf.
You stick a pickle in your meat.
You take a pickle and you put it right in the middle.
Okay, I'm gonna one up you.
Yeah.
And this is as
you're gonna put pierogi in the middle, aren't you?
No.
Sour cream infused in there, and
as we say in home country, which means wait. You want to up your game? Everybody listen, grab a fucking piece of paper. You want to up your meatloaf game? What is the most redneck side dish you can put on the table during the holidays?
Grits.
I don't even know what the hell a grit is. Come on.
Okay. Cornbread.
Close. You mix a package of stovetop stuffing into your meatloaf mix.
Oh, there we go. We're getting classy here. There we go. Do
you know why I did that once? I did that because we didn't have any breadcrumbs or dry bread or stale bread in the freezer. So I had to look for something, and I found a box of stovetop, and I mixed that into my shit. I tell you what.
You do it all the time now, eh?
Why wouldn't you?
Well, I mean, it makes sense. I'll have to try that.
Exactly. Yeah. Stovetop and shove your pickle in there.
Yeah. Shove the pickle in.
That's what come out wrong.
The reason, shove your pickle. Just put it in, right?
Right in the meat.
Right in the meat. So the reason I found out the pickle is good, okay? I was staying in Winnipeg at this.
How high were you when you thought you're going to stick a pickle in your meatloaf?
Oh, it was great. I was at this restaurant, and I needed to get some alcohol. Okay, so I went down to the lounge in the restaurant or in the hotel.
Okay,
walked up to it, and there's a young bartender there, and he goes, "Can I get you a drink?" And I said, "Yeah, I could get an old fashioned, right?" And he looks at me. He goes, "I don't know what that is."
What'd you ask for?
An old fashioned.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
So
He's like, I don't know what that is. And from behind him, there was this old Cuban guy. Seriously, like he's got a glass. He's just polishing it, just
yeah,
cleaning it. His head down. He goes, "Hey, I got this.
I got this.
I got this." So he goes over, makes the old fashioned, and comes and sets it up. And he goes, I've worked in this place for 15 years, and nobody's ever ordered an old fashioned until you watch in the room.
Right. Yeah.
But I got the meatloaf there, and it came with a pickle. It was fantastic.
So
I'll never forget that.
Patricia, and you're saying that you do the meatloaf or you do the stovetop in there? I thought
Breadcrumbs and all your spices taste wonderful. It must be, yeah.
It must be the stovetop. But if you shove a pickle in there,
yeah.
Again, the clips are going to sound great. If you stick a pickle in the meat, like you're saying,
just you got to take a pickle and you got to shove it in there deep,
like right
all the way in.
Could you put 2 pickles in it?
Oh well, then we're getting risky here.
I'm just saying,
2 pickles.
My guess is when you're cutting,
you got to warm that up first,
right? So when you're if you stuff it full, like I'd say three pickles.
You could go 1 pickle this way and maybe 1 more this way. Then it could work. As long as they don't touch, right? As long as they don't touch, it's okay.
Here's the actual question: if you have if you have ketchup on top, burger me through, and then 2 pickles, not quite
touching, not quite touching,
no ET.
Yeah.
When you cut that, it's gonna taste kind of like a burger with a pickle on it, right?
And it's going to be the sweet and the sour, and it's going to have the breadcrumbs and the spice, and it'll be perfect. Yeah, that'd be fantastic.
Is that a big pickle or a little pickle? What do you
got? I don't judge. What
do you got in your
I don't want to judge, right?
Don't pickles. Fuck. How do we go south all the time? Like
I don't know.
We had
it's natural, I guess.
Relatively serious conversation, and then it turned into pickles touching in the meat.
It's not inappropriate. I mean, if they touch, it's okay if they touch.
You can make anything sound dirty if you want.
Depends on the voice. You just need a deeper voice.
Actually, you can take any comment you want to make, and if you just add, if you know what I mean, you can make it sound dirty.
Or in bed.
In bed.
Yes. Either one. No, that's like the fortune cookie prank, right?
There's a fortune cookie prank?
Yeah, you read your fortune cookie and you always add in bed at the end of your fortune.
Oh, that makes sense.
Right?
That makes sense.
So
what happens if you get a blank?
Get a what?
A blank fortune.
Blank one.
I've had a blank.
Oh, that's not good. That's not good.
Wow.
So we used to figure that the fortunes and fortune cookies were made by Chinese English students in China. That was like part of their final plan, right? To graduate, they had to write fortunes for the fortune cookies.
Is that real?
I don't know, but it makes sense.
It's tiny little typewriters, though.
Yeah, tiny little. Well, it's not really tiny. They're just closer to it because they're shorter.
Well, they can focus because they're
focusing.
Focusing.
Yeah.
So
they're focusing.
Focusing. Hello. I going to back in the 90s. So
that's what she said. Yeah.
You're right. Yeah. In bed. 90s tech. Do you remember dial-up? And do you remember the first thing you searched on the internet?
Oh God, no, I don't.
I do.
Probably boobs or something, eh?
Anybody want to guess what the first thing I searched on AOL? In the library at Massey.
Yeah, probably something dirty.
Porn.
Yeah.
So I remember because there would be like 3 of us like, apparently there's porn on the internet. I'm like, what?
No,
okay.
There's not.
So here's what we had for internet back then.
Dial up.
No. You're right. But I remember it was you would type it in and you know what it gave you? The definition of it.
Oh yeah, of course.
And that was it. We're like, that's it. And that was my entirety of online porn. Is that I remember typing it in, and we're like sneaking, making sure that Mr. Who was the librarian at Massey? Big beard.
Yeah.
Anyway, and we were like we're gonna get caught, and we typed it in, and we're like, well, that's it from the internet for us.
Did you get a picture and it's just like slow load? Like
people would print. Remember when people would print out jokes? They'd print
What?
out a joke, like a meme.
Oh, yeah,
It'd
it'd
be a
take
funny thing, and
forever
you
to
print it
do
out
it,
and give it
right?
to you.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it was simple. We had our thing, MapQuest,
Yeah.
directions. You'd print
Oh
that
god,
shit
that
out.
was a nightmare, right? So, you had to
Or
format it properly, and otherwise you'd be Mr. Bueller.
Mr.
Okay, there you go.
Bueller.
Yeah,
That's right.
Bueller.
Or when
Yeah.
LimeWire came out, you're essentially giving your computer herpes.
Yep, pretty much, pretty
Yeah.
much. So you can get the same songs, you know, it's like what songs? It was like Beds Are Burning. It was probably, We're Not Gonna Take It, and, a-ha's Take On Me. Those are the 3 songs that everyone had.
You know what's sad? My ringtone from on my phone is "Take on Me" by
That's good, it should be.
This should be.
It should be.
But again, we had these things and it was new. So we were the first ones. One, Gen X invented the internet.
Yeah.
2, we were the first ones to use it. And 3, we were the first ones to get sick of it.
Yeah, we mastered it and got sick of it. Because we saw it all, went to the end of the internet.
You're right. And the thing is, like, what we're doing, this thing,
Yeah.
we had TV. I don't know if anybody remembers TV, but TV, a show came on at a time. And if you missed it, it was gone. And that's where I think
Yep.
live is going to
Yeah.
surpass other forms of maybe
Have
entertainment.
you ever paid for a conference or something and you're like, I'll watch it later?
Yeah.
You ever watch it later?
No.
Nobody wants to watch reruns.
No, but we did, and now I watch reruns because there's nothing good on TV. Like, I'm
That's
watching
true.
King
Yeah.
of Queens like crazy because I just think it's a great
Yeah.
show.
Yeah, that's true. I asked, what's a good TV show to watch, and people put all the wonderful answers in there. I'm like, man, I don't really know a lot of these.
I don't
You know,
have the
like
time to commit to a show.
right? I tell people that I'm surprised I got married because I can't even commit to a television show. It's ridiculous.
Well, and there are things you go down the rabbit hole of, right?
Yeah.
Like, I remember Sons of Anarchy, I got right into that.
Yeah, yeah,
But you had the time back then. I think as you and I are both
yeah.
entrepreneurs, you're always thinking of the next thing you got to get done.
Yeah. I've been trying to get through this. Well, I started watching like the TV show The Bear, right?
Okay.
It's kind of like PTSD from my previous job, so that's the problem, right? It's all
Right.
restaurant based.
Yeah.
And then I started watching that For All Mankind because it was like, the space launch and everything.
You know what I really miss? I miss sitcoms. I miss
Yeah,
simple
like The
sitcoms.
Office and stuff like that, right?
The Office.
Or Charles in Charge, or whatever, right? So
My Two Dads. Remember that shit?
I don't remember My Two Dads.
Yeah, My Two Dads. That was a show, and but it was not a gay thing. It was just these 2 guys that were raising. The guy was raising his daughter and he had a roommate. That was My
That's
Two
fair.
Dads.
Yeah.
But we had shows that were you could just watch it easy, and if you missed it, you never got to see it again. You didn't get to see it again unless you bought the season on VHS.
And who did that? Like seriously, who
Lots of
did
people I
that?
know had friends. They bought Friends.
Okay, so that's fair. This is a weird thing. I never watched Friends.
I watched Friends. I watched the X-Files a lot, and that was such a good show.
I never even watched the X-Files. Like
you
I
have
dated a
TV?
girl who did. And then, we broke up and I was like, screw you, I'm never watching it. You
Well,
know?
I think that we had things that were easy to watch, and they didn't. There wasn't a social commentary. Maybe that's
Right.
part of it. They weren't
Right.
trying to be the champion for this or be the champion for that. They didn't have to be. You watched the show, and then you were done with the show, and that was the end of it. We didn't have
Yeah.
to have a message all the time.
Well, did you hear there was that new TV show, the Star Trek Academy?
Yeah, it went down fast.
It went down fast.
Yeah.
And I haven't seen it, but I was watching some people talking about the reviews of it. And again, it's because they try to do some social narrative. So they had like a gay Klingon on it and stuff. It's like, I don't think there were gay Klingons because they would have killed them.
Right.
Like all these types of things. And it was like, why are you putting these social narratives in instead of just telling a good story?
Well, stick with the source material. And if the source material doesn't work, then you have to write a new show.
Right.
Right. So get creative and make something. But if you're writing on the coattails of something that was a major show for years, then yeah,
You gotta have some respect to the show, right?
right.
Like,
And no disrespect. I mean, do what you want.
right.
But write it in properly, like figure out how to do it.
Well, did you ever watch the Star Wars Andor series?
Yeah, I tried. I just couldn't.
So it's a slow grind, but if you really get into it, it's actually fantastic. Like genuinely, it's because it's not a Star Wars. There's like no Jedi's running around. It's just like cloak and dagger and espionage.
And I can get into shows like that. I can get into shows where, like, The Blacklist was a fantastic show.
Oh, yeah, my daughter's binging it right now.
Right, it's a great show, but it was well written, and we
Yeah.
had things that were well written, and once he got into about 2010,
Yeah.
it just stopped. It wasn't who gives a shit, let's just put it on and see what happens. It wasn't nerfed, it wasn't anything. You watched it, if you didn't like it, you didn't watch another episode.
Well, there's like Disney was particularly bad at that. All of a sudden, trying to enforce some social change or some narrative or some big thing, some perspective, and it was like, why are they doing this? It's like this isn't entertainment anymore. Now this feels like you're being preached that you're wrong in your thought process.
Well, and I get if you wanna do it, but remember back in the remember Looney Tunes back in the day,
Yeah,
or like Donald Duck and stuff, like, they
yeah,
had, like, Nazi shit on there. Like, it was war
yeah. It was
propaganda.
pretty intense
There
stuff.
was,
Like
and
it
but
was
that's what they were, but they
that was
needed
the
the kids
time.
to understand what was happening in the world, and that's the only way they did it, because they didn't have a device in their hands that was showing
Yeah.
it to them all the time. You wonder why
Well,
kids are like,
also back then, Looney Tunes wasn't made for kids.
"No,
It was
there are certain things they're
grown-ups.
not made for kids," just like, but we watched it as kids,
Yeah,
and it didn't
yeah.
affect us.
No, exactly. We knew that if you threw a coyote off a cliff, it was probably not realistic,
Especially if you dropped an anvil on his head, and
right?
Acme, I mean, that company made some messed
They
up
made
shit.
everything. Like, they made rockets and everything, right?
They and Evan, yes, they are doing a, Mandalorian and
Mandalorian.
Grogu game, or movie,
I'm
and
excited for
I
that,
wanna watch
actually.
it. I'm gonna go see it.
Like, I'm actually genuinely excited about that one because the fir like, I know, like, people loved the 1st season. They were a
Yep.
little warm on the 2nd one. They liked it. The 3rd one, people didn't like it. I thought the 3rd season was great. I thought it was fantastic.
I almost jumped through a wall when I saw that X-wing pull up,
Yeah.
because I
Oh,
remember I was in the
right.
other room
It
like,
was like then
"No."
I could feel my heart. I was like, "Oh my god, they're doing this. Oh my god, they're gonna do this.
And
Like,
then
this
they
is
did it.
great." And they did it, and it was like, this was just perfect, right?
Yeah,
It
and
was just
chef's
perfect.
kiss, and there aren't
Yeah.
too many shows that have a chef's kiss anymore. Like, even if you look at the shows that had their final episodes that stick in your mind, like, I remember the final episode of Seinfeld when they all ended up in jail
Yeah. Yeah.
because
Yeah.
they didn't do anything to help.
Yeah.
And how does that reflect on the world today, where people are gonna videotape something happening to somebody? They're
Yeah.
gonna video it on their phone and not step in and help. And there they had a Good Samaritan clause or Good Samaritan law in New
Yeah.
York, where if you're supposed to step in and do something,
Yeah.
and they all end up in jail. The final episode of Seinfeld is
Yep.
genius.
It's fantastic. It's
Mhm.
great. Like, real life consequences to some extent. Did you ever watch a show White Collar?
I did. Very well done.
Okay. So, like, that was fantastic. Like, we watched that. Like, I watched it and the ends found it, so we went and watched it again. And when the girls got older, we watched it with them, right?
Right.
Because it was just a well done show, right? And it was cute because my oldest girl, Inara, at that point in time, she was like, oh gosh, she must be like 9 or 10, and she was like, "Oh, this must be the new girlfriend for the character because it's a really good looking girl, right?" So she's always pretty girls are
Oh, yeah.
always going to be doing something in the show, but when the show ended, you know,
Yep.
like she ugly cried, when he gets killed, right? And she's seriously bawling her eyes out because the show was over and he was dead.
You know what's interesting? Kelsey must have watched this when she was younger, and she's watching it with Bo right now. She's watching The Vampire Diaries.
Oh, okay.
Not a
Yeah.
bad show. It's definitely one of those shows, but they're watching it and they're getting it, and I like the fact they're watching something that's a little more adultish, right?
Yep. Yep.
But we had stuff again. The '90s were a time, and let's get away from the pop culture for a second. But I remember watching OJ getting chased.
Yeah. Yeah. That was
Okay,
weird.
we
That was
watched some
weird.
serious shit go down. What were the brothers that killed their parents? The Menendez brothers.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's the name I hadn't heard for decades.
Right. So, but we witnessed this in small, little tiny nuggets. It
Yeah.
would be on the 6 o'clock news or the 10 o'clock news, and that was it.
Yep. Now, also, I'll also add into this. When was the first time you saw a dead body? Like a real dead body?
The first time I saw one,
Yeah, like on screen.
oh, on screen.
Not fake, like actual in real life.
I spent a lot of time in funeral homes as a kid, so
Right.
I've seen a lot. But
But I mean like on TV or on YouTube or something.
I remember. Oh, this is gonna be bad. I feel sick to my stomach when I saw it.
Right.
Someone sent me the video of that guy getting decapitated.
Okay.
He had
Yep.
the orange jumpsuit on, and
Yep.
I
Yep.
remember seeing it, I was like, "Oh my god,"
Right.
and it fucked me up for
It
a
was a
while.
lot. It was a lot. You know, like if you think back in the 90s, there was that movie called 8 millimeter,
Yep.
right? And it was all about snuff films,
Yep.
right? And looking for snuff films and all these things. It was like, oh my God, like this is horrible that this sort of thing would happen. And then 9/11 happened and you still didn't see any bodies because they took pictures without any bodies or anything.
No, but I
Okay.
do remember seeing the 2 people jump out holding hands,
Jumping out. Correct. Yes.
and that was like, what the hell are we
Like
seeing
this
here?
this is intense. But now look online and everything, like, how did you find out Charlie Kirk got killed? You watched it.
Yeah.
You know, how many times have you seen people get literally assassinated and killed through like cameras, like from the war cameras and through drone cameras or whatever, right?
But here's something that we had, again, growing up when we grew up, and in the 90's, when you saw it, it was real. We knew it was real. There was no
Yeah.
guess that it was fake. There was nothing. It was real. What we
Yeah.
saw had happened. We're like, "Oh my god," and it
Yeah.
hit you like a ton of bricks, and you were witnessing for sure that happened.
Right. Right.
There was no, maybe it's fake, maybe it's this. No, we just watched some fucked up shit,
Yeah.
and we saw that at a young age. So did that affect us in a way that made us question everything and trust very little? I think so.
I think it's even worse because now people are seeing it so readily available that they're now desensitized to it. Like just yesterday, I saw 3 people just get killed on a video.
Oh.
Just like that. It's just commonplace now. You know, when Charlie Kirk got killed, how many, like, it was being shared everywhere. It was like, guys, you're literally sharing a snuff film.
Well, you want to talk? You go to 8 millimeter. We mentioned 8 millimeter and 7, right?
Yeah.
You know what sucks? I know. Have you been in here in the last while? I got the poster for Psycho Killer, right?
Okay. Yeah.
It was not good. It wasn't
Okay.
good. I was in it. It's not good.
So don't see it.
But it's the writer of 7 and 8 mil did that movie,
Oh, really? Okay.
and was the producers of Barbarian and Weapons, and the movie was 0% of
Not
Rotten
good, eh?
Tomato.
That's not good.
But what I find interesting is I had somebody come in here and we are talking about Faces of Death.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
So there's a new Faces of Death coming out.
Oh, really? Okay.
Okay. And Faces of Death was fucked up.
Yeah,
But
it
what
was
people
bad.
don't get, and I'm a horror guy, man, it wasn't real.
No.
It was not real, but everyone was
But
convinced
everyone thought it was real.
because it was done in a documentary type
Yeah.
style.
It's kind of like Blair Witch. Everyone thought it was real.
Exactly. So the new one is coming out, and it's a killer that is inspired by Faces of Death. And people are
Okay.
finding this online, like he's
Yeah.
recreating the things from Faces of Death. And I really want to see it because, dude, if they're doing with it in Faces of Death, it's going to be a messed up film. And back in
Yeah.
the 80's, Faces of Death came out, and people
Yeah.
were like, you had to get a copy of a copy of a copy from somebody to see
And
it.
that's what made it more real because it was like, you're not supposed to have this.
Right up there with Brocket 99.
Yes,
Remember,
exactly.
you had a
Yeah.
tape of it. And like,
ACDC.
if anybody finds out that we have Brocket 99, we're going to jail.
Oh, you can find that on YouTube, which is great. Or the Anarchist Cookbook.
You can buy that all day long. I remember
Oh,
having
yeah.
the poor man's James
But
Bond.
do you remember if you went to buy the Anarchist Cookbook, the whole story was they took your name down because the police kept it on record?
Yeah, but here's the thing. We also, when you rented a movie from Blockbuster or Rogers or whatever,
Yeah.
there was the FBI warning at the beginning of it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like they were coming after you if you
Yeah.
showed it to more than just your family or if
Yeah.
you made a
Watch
copy.
out. They're going to get you, right?
Dude, we had 2 VHSs connected.
All the time. Yeah.
And you just
Copied
made a
everything.
copy of it.
Everything. Yeah. Screw you, FBI. We're in Canada.
I do remember back in the 80's getting a copy of Return of the Jedi from like my uncle in Ontario.
Right.
And it was not on video.
Right.
It was
right.
not. And my dad saying, you don't tell anybody that we've got this. Like it was.
Somebody had a little camcorder in the movie theater.
Yeah. I remember you could
Yeah.
see that was the first time I saw the black line on the top and the bottom.
Yeah.
The movie.
Yeah.
And it was like that widescreen, but someone said that's fine. But I remember that's how I saw Return of the Jedi.
That's
It
pretty
was
cool.
at home.
That's how I saw like a few movies. Like that's how I saw a little bit of the Phantom Menace, that Star Wars when it came out.
Right.
It was getting leaked all over the place, and they were all terrible copies, right?
Well, I think that we had but that's all we had, so we watched it.
Yeah.
It's like if you had a buddy with a satellite dish and the real fuzzy porn, and they and
What is that?
they'd have to adjust that whole dish in the yard, and it was always
Yeah.
somebody at a farm.
And you just twist it a little bit. It's like, oh, I think I see a nipple. There it was.
What was this? Where were you when Gary Planche shot that PDF on TV?
I don't know.
Gary Planche. Are you talking about the guy that shot his the person that killed his kid? Whatever that's the guy. It wasn't really Aaron. It was there.
Jeffrey Dowsett. There was what was that? Kidnapped and S.A. Planche's son.
Right.
So okay, I don't remember that one at all, honestly. So
I find it hard to believe that The Big Lebowski was in the 90s, but it was.
yeah, that is kind of odd. Yeah.
You know what movie I haven't seen that apparently was amazing was Heat.
Yeah, that was actually a really good movie, actually.
I never saw it, but I should. But Clerks, Big Lebowski, Seven, Good Will Hunting, The Truman Show. The Truman Show. Here's the thing: we're all putting ourselves live on TV.
Was it that long ago?
It was in the 90s. The Matrix, Fight Club, The Shawshank.
Fight Club was amazing. Like that movie was genuinely amazing. It was like, yeah, that was great.
And that one fought for first place with me with American Psycho.
That's fair. That's fair. How about Blade?
Blade was the most badass movie, and the soundtrack was awesome. And we used to buy soundtracks.
Oh yeah. Mortal Kombat. I had Blade, Mortal Kombat. Speed was another one that came out then, right?
I had Judgment Night.
Actually, if this was an amazing movie, I was Googling it here. The Game with Michael Douglas.
Yep. The Game was good. And what was the other? Basic Instinct would have came out. No, that was in the 80s. That was in the 80s.
Basic Instinct was it?
I think so.
Fatal Attraction.
Boiling the Bunny?
Basic Instinct was 92.
Really?
Yeah.
We had iconic films, and I can't think of a single film that has come out in the last who knows how long. Let's say 20 years. Okay. I believe we were watching Anger Management with the kids with Adam Sandler and Jack Nicholson. And I'm looking, I'm like, is it just me, or is Leonardo DiCaprio turning into Jack Nicholson? He looks a lot like him.
Yeah.
But as great of an actor as Leo is, we only remember Titanic because that was back when we were amazed by the movies that were being made.
Yeah. Or worse, if you're a girl, you probably remembered Romeo and Juliet.
Well, there was that. That was not good.
I didn't watch that.
I did, and it was not great.
Yeah, he must have done it to impress a girl.
Maybe, but again, we had these things were iconic because we didn't have 10,000 things to pick from to watch.
We didn't have a lot of options.
You watched the movie, and you were committed to the film, and that was it.
I agree.
I think that we didn't take things for granted like people do now.
Less options. We had a whole lot less options.
Less options. I think that we connected and we hung out, and that was the thing. Like, remember Penny a Drink Night?
Oh, that was great. Like
for 1 hour.
Good old days there, right? You know, sneaking into the OCCs, right?
Yeah, but I remember Penny a Drink was for 1 hour. Yeah. And it was at the Unwinder here in town.
They had it at OCCs or the Encounters back then too.
Yeah, but it was 1 hour.
Yeah.
And remember, you just slipped him a 20 and he keep on coming back to you. The guys that were flicking pennies and quarters were getting maybe one drink where we can get like 4 or 5.
Yeah.
We'd have one person running the drinks back to a table. Yeah. And I remember going back to a high top table full of Ryan Coke. Full.
Those were rough times. Do people even go out to the bars anymore?
I don't think it's the way it used to be. Like that was the place you met
is Houston's a place? Like it used to be like, what am I going to do tonight? Well, I've got nothing to do. I might as well go to the bar because that's where everyone's going to be, right?
Yeah, and you stand in line in 40 below and wait.
And you're okay with it. Is Houston's still going?
Yeah, it's busy. That place, they still get busy.
Is it? Is it really?
Yeah. They have a full weekends, yeah, for sure.
So I'm on their Facebook page, and the last thing that posted was 2018.
In 2018 was the last time they posted something?
That was the last time they posted.
Jeez.
So it's on Instagram. Here we go. Yeah, I guess they do. Booty Shake Thursdays. It's $3.50 specials. I'm scared to think what a special would be.
I think that was the only social outlet we had because one, we couldn't connect any other way except for phone calls,
Yeah.
and you would go and see who was there.
Yeah.
That was it. You go with a buddy or two and then hang out, and then you'd stay till 2 in the morning anyway to see if anybody else is going to show up.
Later than that, especially if you have a car stereo, you just hang out front and just boom your subs for a while.
Ns, 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 ns,
It's
ns,
good
ns.
times, right? So
No, we had. I think that socialization was different back then because it was actually socialization. I remember arcades were a place that you went to play video games. If you had a Nintendo, you played with
yeah.
your buddy at home because it was two-player and that was it.
Well, okay, so there's a good reason I think that a lot of people don't socialize. It's because of cell phones. Nobody wants to be videotaped.
Well, and you don't have maybe, or is it because they don't have to?
It's probably a little bit of both, but I mean, if you were a single guy and you went out to the bar and like, are you really willing to, like back then? It's like you might strike out and it was like whatever, a girl rejected me, that hurts, but whatever. But nowadays they might be like, look at this loser, like this guy's asking me out. Like,
Yeah, there's that. Everybody's
who
an
the hell do you think you are, right?
yeah, so the risk is higher, and yeah, you're probably right because when back then you just if you struck out, you struck out. But I do believe the people who needed to strike out in person, and that's
Yeah,
something we don't get anymore. Is
completely.
swiping left or
Or
right isn't
or even
exact.
worse, think of some of the stuff that you did when you were young. Do you want photographic evidence of it?
No, no.
Right?
There
It's
are
like,
things that
oh,
I'm glad we had no way of documenting it.
exactly. Exactly. It's like, oh my God, I don't want to go to jail for something I did 20 years ago because I was stupid.
But
You
were
know?
we more careful then?
No, God, no.
But it never went beyond the night.
But you didn't
That's
have to worry about any photographic evidence either, right?
no, but it didn't go beyond the night.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like something would you do something dumb, it happened, it was
Yeah.
over, right? And I think now it lives forever on the internet.
Yeah.
Forever on the
Sadly.
internet.
And if it gets out there, it's like, oh my God, do you want to be that guy that, I don't know, did whatever?
Have you ever AI'd yourself and asked? Tell me everything you know about
Yeah, I have actually. Yeah.
it's amazing what's out there.
I did that on ChatGPT. I haven't done it on Gemini yet,
I did
though.
on Gemini because Gemini has a bigger database, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Know about me. Let's see what it says. So it tells me a few things, but I mean, I've fed it a lot of stuff too. So I mean, it's kind of rigged that way, right?
It did a lot
So
of times I was in the paper that I forgot about it, and I forgot about trying to beat a world record. I forgot all about that, but it was on there
okay, that's fair.
for
That's
head
fair.
shaves. Yeah.
Yeah, that was a while ago.
Mhm.
Crazy, eh?
But no,
That's two times.
I think that the 90s were one of those times where we were rebelling in a good way,
Right.
and we were so respectful, but we didn't give a shit. Like you didn't try to cause shit, but you didn't take any shit.
No, exactly.
And we weren't social justice warriors, but if we thought something was bullshit, we'd call it out. But it
Kind of
was
called
things it were
Yeah.
things that were genuinely like that's where like I would say Rage Against the Machine was a 100% social narrative to the 90s. 100%.
That's fair.
We stopped trusting this and stopped putting our faith in the government and all that.
Yeah.
And the
I,
band's name was a movement.
I think it's actually a good thing to be questioning these sort of things because a lot of people nowadays are just way too placated. Like they just kind of go along with it and they don't challenge anything, right?
Here's the thing. And you have every right to complain about the government. Go ahead.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
then go vote. Do something about it. Don't just complain. Go do something about it. Yet also, if that's where if they're enabling you and your lifestyle,
Yeah.
what can you complain?
Yep. Exactly.
Yeah.
Suck it up. Just
yeah,
whatever.
If you're complaining about the person that's writing your check, shut up.
Yep. Exactly.
You know,
Anyway, I've got to cut it short there, man.
all right. Well, hey
Tomorrow
guys,
is 10 o'clock.
yeah, I got work to do tomorrow, guys. Thanks for hanging out. The 80s were
Probably
wonderful, but the
probably
90s
bored enough people right now. So
probably. I think the 80s were great, but are they overhyped? No, they were still pretty cool. But the 90s were something that just changed.
the 90s were more fun.
It cemented a lot of shit in, and it was good.
I think they really need to do like a Back to the Future where they go back from today
To 1996?
1996. Yeah,
That would be hilarious.
that'd be pretty funny.
Yeah.
Just get ChatGPT to make that. It'd be entertaining.
We should. Okay, guys. Have an awesome night. Have an awesome weekend. Happy Easter, everybody. And yeah, we'll see you.
Go eat some rabbit.
Go eat some rabbit. The bunnies are laying eggs right now, so you got to be careful.
Exactly.
Okay, guys. Cheers.